That is the fast track back to Godhead. If you want to go back to Godhead in this lifetime, then you should take advantage of this most powerful facility offered to humanity by Krishna and his purest devotees, Sri Vrindavan Dham, for making the progress that you need to make to get Krishna Prema, so that you merit entering into the Bhoma Leelas of Krishna for the further training, so that you can onward to go. So it's absolutely necessary. You're so close to Vrindavan. I don't ever want to leave Vrindavan. And practically speaking, I never do. So you should also never leave Vrindavan. At least as long as you're serving based from your home away from home, you should always remember that your real home is Vrindavan. And you should come home as often as possible, at least to chant, a few rounds now and then, and get the benefit. You have no idea how much benefit there is by taking shelter of Vrindavan. Sarva dharma prityaja nam ekam sharanam braja. But Krishna says, what does braja mean? It means to go. But according to our Acharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says it automatically, simultaneously indicates where to go. Because why is Krishna telling? Krishna's standing. He's standing right there. Arjuna's right there. He could have said, just surrender to me. Why did he say go and surrender to me? Go where? He wasn't saying, go fight the battle of Kurukshetra. He was making a very sanguine philosophical point. To go to Braja and surrender to me there. And in fact, that's what Arjuna did as Arjuna Gopi. Arjuna became Arjuna Gopi. Are you aware of this story? He was reclining with Krishna in Hastinapur, wherever that is. And he was, in Indraprastha. It was Indraprastha, wasn't it? And then he was asking Krishna, he said, what is this I heard about? You had this, your childhood pastimes, and there was dancing with gopis, and then Krishna says, Arjuna, you don't want to hear about these things. We're warriors. These things, yes, those were my people. That was my place. But that was then. So then Arjuna became very disturbed, and he fell unconscious on the ground because he was fearing that Krishna wouldn't share that with him. So then Krishna picked him up and embraced him to his heart and told him that, Arjuna, you're so dear to me. After reviving him, he told him, Arjuna, you're so dear to me that I'm not only going to tell you about it, and I'm not only going to show you, but I'm also going to give you the experience. So then he instructed Arjuna to worship Goddess Katyayani. And then Katyayani told her maidservants to take Arjuna to, I forget the name of the Sarovar, it was one lake, and had him take bath in the western shore of the lake. And then the voice from the sky tells to be careful not to the ground, but somehow or other he reappeared, he resurfaced on the western bank. I mean the eastern bank, whichever it was. And when he came out of the water, he was no longer a he. He was no longer Arjuna. He was Arjunia. Arjunia Gopi. So then he heard some, prattling means conversation, light, jovial conversation, coming along with the sound of ankle bells coming down the footpath. And who does he see? He sees a whole group of Sakhis coming along. And then one of the Sakhis in that group says, hey, who's that new girl over there? So then they come closer and ask Arjuna, then who are you? Whose daughter are you? Whose father? Which village are you from? And Arjuna said, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was just told to take my bath, and then somehow I came out on this side of the pond, and now and they told me that I would meet my friend there. So then they asked, well, would you like to meet our leader? Yes, why not? So then they said, well, if you want to meet our leader, then you have to do a little tapasya. So then they told that he had to chant a certain number of rounds of Radha Nam. And then after doing that, they brought him, I'm abbreviating the story a little, but they brought him to meet Radha. And they told that you have to perform arati and make offerings to Radharani. And then this way, Radharani accepted her and embraced her. And when Radharani embraced Arjuna, then Arjuna became overwhelmed with an ecstasy that he never experienced as Arjuna. 10 million times the ecstasy that he experienced as Arjuna, he experienced upon receiving Srimati Radharani's embrace. But so much overwhelming was that ecstasy that she fell unconscious. And then, after a little time, which was not able to be understood, how long time, some few moments or hours or who knows how long, Arjuna came to his external consciousness, and he was hearing in the distance some nice music, and so then he came, following the sound, he came into a clearing, and there was Radha and Shyamsundar sitting on the throne, surrounded by the Sakhis making music. And so then Krishna, Shyamsundar, sees this new Sakhi and says to Radha, who's that girl? And then, of course, she was already acquainted. So then Radha called her close and introduced her to Krishna, telling Krishna that he should take Arjuna to the Kunj, and do the needful. So then Arjuna was hesitant, but then Krishna grabbed her by the hand and pulled her away into the Kunj, and enjoyed with her for a long time. Meanwhile, Srimati Radharani was very pleased to make these arrangements for Arjuna to experience what it is like as Arjuna Gopi. Actually, Arjuna Gopi is the original feature of Arjuna. Arjuna is the Dwarka Parshada expansion. You know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's described how Ramananda Roy was inclusive of Vishaka, Arjuna, and Arjuna the coward boy and also Arjuna Gopi. They were all, manifested in one personality. So Arjuna Gopi is also an eternal personality revealed. So then, after enjoying with Arjuna, Krishna told to some of the maidservants that she must be very tired after enjoying so many pleasure pastimes with me. You should take her and relieve her fatigue by bathing her in the lake. So then she enters the lake, and then she pops out on the other side of her as Arjuna, and he looks around, and there's no more Sakis, and he's back to his normal level of Ananda, and he becomes totally, totally distressed.